Video I'll be talking about one of the ancillary products which Izzy and I will be required to produce as part of our coursework. We've decided as one of two of the three options that are available to us to make a digipak for our music video, the artist who we will be making a music video for. I've decided in this video to talk through some of the digipaks which I own myself, which I currently have in my possession, as I have them in my hands and I'm able to kind of talk through them, and hopefully it should be a good video. The first album I have, which is a digipak, is by the Arctic Monkeys. It's called Suck It and See, and on the back, it's made of cardboard. On the back I've got the track list, and on the inside there's like a nice photo of them. It also includes obviously the CD, which slides into one of the sections, and also a little book which has all the lyrics in it, and like photos of the band, things like that, which is of interest to their fans. I like this digipak because it's rather slim as well, rather slender, and the really kind of basic artwork on the front and in the digipak itself reflects like the style of the music. Not that it's plain and boring, but it's like basic and simple, and I think it's really effective. The second digipak I have is by Frank Turner, and it's his fourth album, England Keep My Bones, and it's like this. This is actually the deluxe edition of the album. It's very fancy. It's obviously, I think it's probably faux leather, like a bound book, if you can see that, with pages inside, like a little album book, and it's kind of got gold, like the gold track listing on the back, and inside, just like a book, like an old weathered book, there's photos, there's lyrics, and also on these lyrics, which you don't get in the normal album release, it's got like Frank Turner's own annotations on the tracks that he wrote. And at the back, there's a little quote from Frank Turner, and his CD popped nicely in there in a little pocket. I really like this one. This one's probably my favourite out of all the ones I'm going to show. I think it's very different in the way it's been presented, like in the actual like bound book, as opposed to just like a cardboard kind of fold-out piece of digipak. Izzy and I think could take some inspiration from this, because I like the kind of personal touch that's been included with the kind of handwritten notes on the digipak, and also the album artwork reflects the messages behind the song. It all goes very nicely, like the title of the album, like if you actually listen to the songs, actually I'm a fan of him, you understand it all. So I think doing something that reflects kind of the personality of the album, the particular artist, would be definitely of interest to me and Izzy and I, as I think it all just fits nicely together. Also having a shot of the whole band together at the end in a nice kind of, in the same style again, like black and white kind of like old-fashioned style. It all just fits really nicely together, and I think it's a lovely piece. Another digipak I own is by Kate Nash for her album My Best Friend Is You. It's her second album, and it's again made of cardboard, folds out into a nice little digipak. The album's kind of clicks in there with all kind of the artwork everywhere. Then there's a pull-out section there with all the lyrics inside, and a few pages where there's kind of actual just pure artwork. I personally like the fact where there is just kind of like the double page spread of kind of artwork which relates to the album and the style which she's going for. Like it all fits nicely together. There's nothing random out of place. However, I think the artwork in this is absolutely hideous. I cannot stand the album artwork for this. I think it's really ugly. I do not like it at all. It all fits together nicely, I mean, and goes with the album, but personally I just don't think it's nice at all. So any kind of literal influence we can draw from this in regards to kind of like arrangement of lyric and picture is not going to come from this album artwork whatsoever. I think it's hideous, it's awful, and I don't like it at all. But having kind of, like I said, the double page spreads of pure artwork I really like, because that will also be able to kind of introduce Izzy's photography skills into this, use her cameras and her skills behind the lens. So that would obviously be an advantage for us. But overall, I kind of like it. It's not my favourite, but the artwork is awful. Another digipak that I own is another Frank Turner one for his first ever album, Love, Ire and Song. It's very similar to the Arctic Monkeys one, in kind of a style which is simply a fold out kind of two section album. Like I said, the artwork on it is very similar again, kind of all goes together. You get the CD tucked into one of the little sleeves, and also a little sheet of lyrics. I personally hate the way these these are presented. Look how the writing's really small, it's really difficult, not difficult, but it's really complicated to look at. Say you wanted to read along with the lyrics, learn the lyrics, support your artist, you can't do this with ease. This is awful, we'll not be copying anything from this album in regards to lyric presentation. But personally I do quite like just having the two simple sections, easier to kind of look at, I don't know, it's just nicer, and I really like the artwork, or the photographs that have been included in these. It's also got a little quote from one of his songs running on the bottom, and it's also a very good song, Frank Turner, but that's quite a nice little touch, because this is kind of like the song, the one that's quoted here is kind of like the song of the album, like the most popular of all the songs on the album, so it's a really nice touch to have that on there, I think. So I think in kind of this respect, Izzy and I could draw some sort of inspiration from having the simple two-sided digipak as opposed to some sort of elaborate one. Though I do like the elaborate ones as well, like the big fold-out things. They're both very effective. But having a little quote of a lyric along the bottom, I do rather like. The last digipak that I own myself is by Miles Kane. It's for his latest album, Don't Forget Who You Are. I really like this digipak. It's probably one of my favourites. It's absolutely massive. Compare it to one of the other ones. It's like a big chunky envelope. Pop it open. It's most different to any of the ones I've seen before. Also, it's the deluxe edition of the album. I find that with most of the digipaks that I've got, or ones that I've looked up online, the digipak, like the actual kind of fold-out book style, is usually the deluxe edition of an album, as opposed to kind of like the standard plastic CD casing you get. That's kind of just like a normal release. In this digipak, you received 12 kind of postcards. I mean, I've ripped one apart and not used them, but ripped them out of the album. You got 12 kind of cardboard postcards, all kind of together in one long line of photography. This is a very, very interesting thing. So, like I said before, we can use Izzy's kind of photography skills with this and introduce something quite different, because I've never had a digipak of an album which has included things like this before. They're all, I mean, they're not random shots, but like, you've got some like pork pies here, another one of Miles Kane. Most of them were of shots of Miles Kane. I mean, some of them are kind of like similar photos, kind of go along with the whole kind of theme and kind of feel of the album. On the back you have lyrics to all the songs on the cardboard, though I think this is kind of bizarre, because obviously when you rip the postcards out, you can no longer look at the lyrics. Say you enjoy doing that kind of, you can either do one or the other, you can't really enjoy both. So I think we can, if Izzy and I were to do something where you pull out and keep, do not print the lyrics on the back, as that's not very good. The album itself is kind of tucked into this kind of bizarre envelope. It's like a box put all together. The album's tucked in there. Don't like this either. Very fiddly to put back in. Once you've listened to it on your CD player, very fiddly to put back in. So Izzy and I will not be doing this. But I really, really like the massive kind of, you get like a package for your money, like more for your money is what we're saying. Obviously we're not actually distributing this and producing it, but I like the feel of it, and the artwork on this I really, really like. And it all, like I said, fits in together. There's no like random shots where you're thinking, where does this work in? Even though there are seemingly random shots of like pork pies, things like that, nothing feels out of place. It all feels very kind of connected and together. This is probably my favourite one, along with the Frank Turner one. So I like this one very, very much.